What if I just built an FPV drone that makes every other pocket racer feel like a toy? In this video, I'm breaking down huge Avatar 3 leaks that promise a 1-inch CMOS camera, blistering 140 km/h top speeds, a rear-mounted battery, 4 blade props, and a whole lot of geopolitical drama. Stick around because near the end, I'll tell you why this might be the drone people talk about for years, and whether you should start saving now or wait for the dust to settle. Remember where the Avatar line began. The first model changed expectations by blending cinematic stability with the raw energy of FPV. Avatar 2 polished that formula in 2024 and made the platform approachable for creators who liked immersive camera moves without crashing every 5 minutes. That history matters because DJI tends to save the big leaps for the second or third generation. If the leaks are right, Avatar 3 isn't just an incremental update, it's DJI trying to move FPV from hobbyist trick to pro tool. Look closely at the leaked images and you can see the story. Bigger camera housing, cleaner lines, the orange bumpers are gone, and the battery moved to the rear. That relocation changes the center of gravity in a good way, which explains the shift to a 4-blade propeller design for extra thrust and finer control. Small details like these are what separate a drone that can be trusted for film work from one that only looks good in a demo reel. Now for the parts that make adrenaline junkies grin. Leaks point to a top speed around 140 km/h and flight times closer to 23 to 25 minutes under ideal conditions. Those numbers push the Avatar 3 into custom-built FPV territory while keeping the ease of a ready-to-fly system. Add in the rumored O4 transmission for low-latency, long-range feeds, and you're looking at goggles-friendly immersion that doesn't cut out when you need it most. Microhook. Later, I'll show why those extra minutes and that transmission could change how creators shoot action sequences. This is the headline maker. A 1-inch CMOS capable of 4K at high frame rates means substantially better low-light, richer dynamic range, and smoother slow motion. Couple that sensor with rock-steady refinements, active track improvements, and omnidirectional obstacle sensing, and DJI might finally be offering FPV footage that needs minimal salvage in post. Quick transfer and tighter DJI Fly app integration could also mean less time wrestling with files and more time shooting. Trust me, for filmmakers, this is the most important piece of the puzzle. Turn the Avatar 3 into either a massive global success or a symbol of a deeper trade divide. So what should you do? If you need it for professional work and can import responsibly, start planning. If you live in a market where availability is unclear, watch DJI's announcements and look at alternatives from competitors. So what do you think? Are these leaks enough to make the Avatar 3 the FPV camera to rule them all, or just another DJI hype train? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Tell me which feature you want most, and if you want a deep dive on footage samples or controller options, say so. Ever wondered if a pocketable drone could finally stop feeling like a compromise? Imagine palm-launchable convenience with footage that doesn't look like it was shot on a postcard from 2016. In this video, we're breaking down the Neo 2 rumors, release timing, specs, what DJI might have actually fixed from the original, and whether this thing could topple the Mini 5 Pro as the best travel drone for creators. I'll walk you through design changes, the camera upgrades everybody's whispering about, flight and tracking improvements, plus the bundles and price ranges the leaks keep repeating. Stick with me because near the end, I'll give a hard take on who should buy the Neo 2 and who should wait or spend a little more. You know what's funny? The original Neo felt like a genius little gadget until the wind hit it. From what we're hearing, Neo 2 keeps that tiny palm-friendly footprint, but gets tougher where it matters. Expect stronger materials and double-layered prop guards so beginners can be clumsy and walk away with a working drone. Weight stays likely under the 250-gram threshold, which is brilliant for travel and light regulation in many countries. Motor tweaks aim for snappier lift in gusts, and new sensor placements could finally bring multi-directional obstacle awareness. Controller ergonomics are rumored to get a small but meaningful refresh. Better grip, smarter antenna placement, and fewer dropouts. All of this sounds like DJI is trying to tighten the package without making it bulky. This is the juicy part. Leaks suggest a much bigger sensor than the original, roughly a 1.3-inch type, letting Neo 2 shoot 4K at 60 frames per second with better dynamic range and lower noise. Translation: smoother motion, nicer slow motion, and footage that grades better in post. Improved auto exposure, possibly a high dynamic range mode, and better electronic stabilization round out the rumors. There's even talk of RAW or log profiles for creators who want a color grade. If any of this is true, the Neo 2 moves from casual banger to something a lot more usable for semi-pro content without making you lug a bigger kit. Flight time looks to be one of the more realistic upgrades. Expect something in the 20 to 25-minute window under ideal conditions, which is a noticeable bump. Subject tracking and AI are said to be smarter, following people even when they briefly duck behind obstacles. Multi-directional sensors would improve safety in complex environments, and the transmission system could use DJI's newer protocols for lower latency. Accessories rumors include a stronger Fly More type bundle with extra batteries, faster chargers, ND filters, and a compact case that charges on the go. Controller options may range from a stripped-down remote for budget buyers to a higher-end controller with built-in screen for those who want a more stable filming setup. So, is Neo 2 the new go-to compact drone? If the leaks hold up, it carves a sweet middle ground, much better imaging and smarter sensing while staying travel-friendly. Price rumors float between roughly $220 and $250 for a base kit, up toward $400 for a richer bundle. That pricing would make it tempting, but compare it directly to Mini 5 Pro if low light and absolute image quality are your priorities. Drop your thoughts below. Would you choose ultra portability or slightly bigger sensors for better footage? If you liked this breakdown, hit like and subscribe so you don't miss the full hands on when Neo 2 actually lands. And tell me in the comments what test you want first when it's in hand.